Hi, my name is Jasmine Nicole. Thank you for coming to my channel. If this is someone who is new here, thank you for watching. I'm assuming everybody's new because this is my first long form video. YouTube is something that I've always wanted to get into. If you know me from my TikTok and my Instagram, which also is a little small. Thank you for coming over and watching this video. I've always wanted to get into YouTube. I've always wanted to get into long form content, and I'm very excited about doing that now. So I do have some tips and tricks on how you can get into travel nursing. This is something that I'm very passionate about. I love my travel nursing job. I'm on my first contract, so I'm very excited to help you along. I have my handy dandy iPad, so we'll get into it, and I have some good things to tell you. So first off, I want to tell you why I left my staff nursing job. I left staff nursing because I want to pay off my loans, and I was not going to be able to do that as quickly as I could if I stayed at my staff nursing job. This is no hate to staff nurses. I loved working at my job. It's just that I wasn't making enough money to comfortably go outside and play and then also pay off my loans I have from school. So I just wanted to pay off my loans. I'm slated to pay them off by the end of the year. If I didn't leave my staff nurse job, I would have paid them off by this time next year. But I just wanted to get ahead and just get that over with because I do want to go back to school as well. So that's why I left. The amount of money that I was making was enough for me to get my hair done, get my nails done, but it wasn't enough for me to, you know, like go on a vacation or, you know, move out of my family's home. So when I'm at my staff job in Georgia, I live at home. So I just felt like I needed a change. I felt like I needed something else to expel me out into the world. So travel nursing is a big push because you are doing it on your own. You're by yourself. And unless you come with family or your significant other, you're just doing it alone. So that was my main big push to go. I also felt like God called me to go on this path. I wanted to be like how Abraham followed God and just listened to his plan. That is what I felt like God was wanting me to do. Is just be obedient and listen to what he wants me to do, not what I think I want to do. Travel nursing was never on my radar. If you ask any of my friends and family, I never was like, "Oh, I want to be a travel nurse." Like, no. It was just become a nurse, go back to school, and that was it. I never wanted to be a travel nurse. So, definitely God was playing his hand at what he wanted me to do in my life. And I'm so grateful and thankful he did that. So let's get into how I got started. So the first thing I did was research. I watched many videos like this one. I watched TikToks. I talked to my coworkers who used to be travel nurses. They really helped out. I talked to people I could trust. My dad is a retired travel nurse, so I spoke with him. I asked him what are the steps that I need to do to get into travel nursing, and that really helped out a lot. So, there are a lot of travel nurse agencies that you can apply to. There's Trusted Health, there's Host Healthcare, there's AMN, there's Fast Staff. There's so many agencies that you can apply to, but the one that I went with was Trusted Health. I went with Trusted Health because honestly, they were just one of the first people that I saw online. In hindsight, do I wish I would have gone with a different agency? Yes. If you're coming out to California like I am, there are many agencies you can explore, but just so you know, if you want to work in a Kaiser hospital, Kaiser and AMN are like this. They are sister and brother, they are mother daughter, they are literally together. They are one. So with that being said, all of the contracts are going to go to AMN agencies before they go to any other agency. So if I were you, I would just apply through AMN. That's the only reason why I wish I would have applied through them instead of Trusted Health, because I do work at a Kaiser hospital. So if I were you, I would apply through AMN. AMN, I believe, will also pay for you to get out here. They will reimburse you for any credits you might need, any certifications, any classes. And I believe they also pay the most, so I should have gone with them, but you live and you learn. This is my first one. So, of course, you need to make sure that your license, your nursing license, can be used at whatever state that you're planning on going to. I'm from Georgia, so I had a compact license. Compact nursing license state is a state that allows you to use your nursing license without having to get that certain state's license, if that makes sense. Like you can have, I'm from Georgia and my compact license can be used in any state that is considered compact. So, for example, California, you have to get a California license. You can't just use your Georgia or Washington state compact license. You have to get a California license. So, that was honestly step two. After I did my research and I figured out, okay, this is where I want to go, this is how I want to do it, this is the agency that I want to go with, I figured that I need to get the license for that state. And California does take a little bit of time and they are a little bit more expensive than what, I was used to with Georgia, but you have to take the time to make sure you get your license because it does take a while and you need to have that before you apply to these jobs. So now you've done your research, you've picked a recruiting agency, and you've applied for your license. Now you need to apply for a job on this agency's website or on their app. So in order to do that, you go on their app and you look up these jobs. I looked up based on money and, of course, location. Apparently California, Northern California is more known to pay more, whereas Southern California doesn't pay as much as Northern. I feel like because Northern California is a little bit colder and, Southern California has LA, Disney World, it has a little bit more fun stuff, but Northern California does pay more. Apparently California, Northern California is more known to pay more, whereas Southern California doesn't pay as much as Northern. I feel like because Northern California is a little bit colder and, Southern California has LA, Disney World, it has a little bit more fun stuff, but Northern California does pay more. So now you've applied for your job on the website or the app, and while you're on the website, you need to make sure you are speaking with your recruiter. Your recruiter needs to be You and your recruiter need to be like this, like best friends. Like they need to be asking you all the time, are you good? Do you need anything? These are your next steps. This is what I need you to do. This is what I need from you. You need to have a good recruiter. If you don't have a good recruiter, this will be a very long, hard, and tedious process that you just don't want to go through. Your recruiter is supposed to be the middle person between you and the hospital. So they are trying to get you the job that you want. You are your own boss. So you need to make sure that you and the recruiter are like this. And if you don't like your recruiter, you can always ask for a different one. You are not stuck with that person. So now you've done your research, you've picked your agency, you've applied for your license, you have applied for a job. What do you need to do next? Now that you finish all these things, you have to prepare in a different way. You have to go and get your drug test. You have to go get a physical. You have to upload your vaccinations, upload your certifications, make sure your BLS is up to date. You just have to do the tedious things that you did when you applied for your staff job, which is we've all taken the drug test, we've all gotten our physical, gotten our shots, done the mask test. You have to do all these things before you go to the job. The job will also probably send you some hospital specific modules you have to do, like sexual assault, um, handling the certain type of charting system that they have. So there's a few things you have to do that's tedious, and make sure that the agency you're with will pay you for your time for doing these modules. You are not doing anything for free. If you have to sign up and do all these modules and stuff, best be getting paid for it. Trust me, time's money. Time is money, and I have loans, and I'm not about to do anything for free. So make sure you're getting paid to do these things. Okay, now you got your job, you got everything done, you're ready to go, Like I went from Georgia to California. So my process was a little easier just because my family always does a cross country trip in the month of May. So for my family, they drive from Georgia to California. They do that every year just because my parents are retired. So I just caught a ride with them. But I did ship my car here. So I shipped my car here and I put some stuff in my car to help me move here. And they drove me here. So shipped my car because my car is just it's not one that you want just driving across all these rugged terrains from Georgia to California, so I shipped my car and then we drove here. I forgot to mention this earlier. A big thing that I used to find my place here in California was Furnish Finders. I know there are different websites and different agencies you can go through to find a place. I like Furnish Finders because they're specific, and it seems like a lot of people who are nurses, a lot of people who are having transient jobs like this traveling use that. So the people that you apply to live in their homes or their apartments or whatever, they know these things. So their leases are not crazy long and you're not locked into anything. So I really appreciate Furnish Finders and I found the perfect place. So now you got your first assignment. I got my first assignment. My first assignment is here in the Bay Area of California. Of course, I won't tell you which hospital specifically, but I really, really love my hospital. Now I'm due for an extension. Hopefully that can happen, God willing. If not, then that's the nature of the job. You got to move to a different hospital, and that is totally fine. So I know a lot of people are nervous about travelers because there is that stigma of you're going to get the worst patients. They're going to treat you bad because they know you're getting paid more. At my hospital, it seems like they know that they need travelers. They're kind of understaffed. So, all the people I worked with have been amazing. They've helped me, they've shown me what I need to do, they've helped me out. I had about 4 days of orientation when I first got here, and I felt like that was enough. At my hospital, with me being labor and delivery, we are expected to circulate the OR, so we did get some help with that. But one thing about these hospitals is they know your travelers. They do. So at least for me and my specialty of labor and delivery, if my patient has to have a C-section, I'm not going to be in there alone because I don't know where certain things are in the OR. I'm not from here. I'm not used to this hospital. I'm not used to the setup you have here. So they know that they need to have someone in there with me to help me out, which I'm so appreciative of. So everyone has been good to me. I know my dad, who is a retired travel nurse, told me that at places he's gone to, he didn't get as much help, or people were a little bit ruder to him, or he got the worst assignment. And maybe it's different for him because he was on a tele med surge floor, but for me, everyone's been really, really nice. So I really appreciate that. I want to talk about some things that I wish that I knew before I started the assignment. So, something that I wish that I knew is, like I said, I wish I would have gone with AMN instead of Trusted Health. Not knocking Trusted Health, I'm still with them. But if you want to be in a Kaiser hospital, AMN just seems to be the better fit. Something that I also wish I knew is that you need to ask for more in your tax free stipend. So, you get paid with a tax free stipend if you are not from the state. If you live more than 50 miles out from the hospital, you do get a tax-free housing stipend for food and housing. Um, and then, of course, you get paid for your time for working. So that is taxable. I wish that I would have put more in my tax-free stipend, and I wish that I had that option. And that is one thing that I believe AMN does better than Trusted Health. So I wish I would have done that. Oh, if I could also give advice, something that I would do when you are applying for these jobs and applying for these agencies, I would just straight up, if you're going to be on the computer anyways, why don't you just apply to a bunch of agencies at once? Like I said, AMN is good for Kaiser. Another health system might be better with a different agency. So just apply to all of them. Also, in your phone and your computer, on your iPad, whatever you are using to apply, have a folder that has all of your information in it. All in one folder, you should have your licenses, your certifications, your immunizations, everything that you would need so you can just batch apply, just because you don't want to have to go looking for all that stuff at the end of the day. It's just easier to do it that way. We're trying to make this money. We're not trying to have to go and chase down a piece of paper that we don't even remember doing and having like from years ago. Just have it all ready so you can just batch apply, apply, apply. Another bit of advice that I have is I know a lot of people say you need at least 2 years of experience before you go start traveling. And I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, I had about 2 years of experience before I went on my first travel assignment. And I feel like that was more than enough as long as you feel like you are a safe nurse, as long as you feel like you know everything, as far as you feel like you're okay with learning new things too, then I feel like you're ready. I kept asking people that I work with who have been travel nurses and are OG nurses, do you think I'm ready? Do you think I'm ready? And they were saying, as long as you feel safe, as long as you feel comfortable, then you're ready. For me, being a labor and delivery nurse, I didn't want to leave until I gave blood. I didn't want to leave until I felt fully secure in myself and being in the OR. I didn't want to leave until then. And at the time, and At the time that I left, I hadn't missed an IV in so long, and I was hitting the IVs and stuff like that. When you are at your home hospital preparing to go on a travel assignment, ask to do everything. If your friend in the other room, your coworker is hanging blood, go in there and do it with her. If your coworker is experiencing a putting in a Bakri or putting in a Jada balloon, go and do that with her or him. Just do it. Help them out. Learn something new. You, it's not going to hurt. That's what I was doing. Also, at your new place, don't be afraid to ask questions. A lot of people you work with are probably going to be travelers, and even if they're not, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't sit there and do something unsafe because you just didn't want to ask or didn't want to look stupid or something like that. Just go and ask the question. They're not going to kill you. And you know what? If they're going to be weird about it, then they're just not good people. God has you covered. That is something that I've had to tell myself is not to worry. God has me covered. God will protect you. You will be okay. Ask all the questions that you need. To be a safe nurse, you need to do this. Your first contract might not be in your dream city. The first contract might have you in an apartment you might not like. The first contract, you might not like the people that you work with, but at the same time, you need to get your experience. This can open so many doors. The experience and the things that I've learned at this place, oh my, I'm so thankful for. Do I have my hard days? Yes. I miss my boyfriend. I miss my mom. I miss my dad, my sister, my friends, my coworkers. I miss just the normalcy and the sameness that I've had for the past few years. But you know what? I knew that I needed to get out and do something new. And I'm glad that I did. I'm so appreciative of that. And I'm so thankful to God that He showed me this is the way. This is the way. I will be done paying my loans by December. I'm not gonna get emotional in my first YouTube video, but that is something that I am very appreciative to God for. The amount of stress that financial and loan burdens can have over someone is unexplainable. So, the financial freedom that I feel now here, yes, am I still frugal? Yes, am I still saving money? Yes. And no, I'm not going on a bunch of trips and doing all this stuff that I think people say that travel nurses can do. I'm not doing that yet. I'm saving my money. I'm going along. But at the same time, I'm still enjoying life, you know? And I'm just one of those people, anyways. I don't like to spend money on stuff that I feel like I'm going to be sitting around next week and only having $50 left. Like, no, if I'm going to spend money on something, it is because I really thought it out and I really planned for it. So you can do this. You got this. Becoming a travel nurse was the best decision I ever made. And I'm so glad that God led me to this place, to these people, to everything that I've done here and I've seen here. I'm so excited to share and keep going and learning and just moving and becoming more financially free. And I'm excited to share that journey with you guys. If y'all have any questions, if you need a helping hand, if you'd like to talk about anything, just hit me up. Go into the comments, make a comment, and subscribe to my channel. I want to make more videos about these things, but you got this. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.